some of the children that believe in Donald Trump and hope that he saves their lives further. One being Alex Jones. He wants the elderly folks to stop fighting.
When I criticize Trump, it is from a place of love, and he's our lifeboat here, trying to get him back on track. So in the MAGA Civil War, stop attacking Massie, stop attacking Rand Paul, stop attacking MTG, and because it doesn't help him in the end, and it doesn't help them, and it doesn't help America. So we're here, trying to get Trump to course correct. It looks like he's starting to do it.
But also, I would like to see this list. I don't care what's on it. It doesn't matter as far as Trump is concerned.
And we know it's a bunch of big Democrat donors. It's a bunch of big billionaires.
Right.
We already know from
so
the emails.
Why don't
exactly.
we release it? So why aren't they releasing it? And here's I don't even care. How's this? Doesn't even matter why they're not releasing or will release it. Why would Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene take a relationship that was really kind of made in heaven? It was perfect. She's a congresswoman, powerful congresswoman from Georgia, the state you need. You need the support of those folks in the midterms.
Well, that's it. And remember, the main thing was she released the text messages was the Epstein thing. So he now agrees with her, but she's a traitor. Well, he just made himself a traitor. And I say that respectfully because I need Trump to succeed. The Democrats get back in. They've been trying to put me in prison, put my co-host in prison. So, I mean, believe me, I'm all in on Trump. That means when I see him making mistakes that I know are wrong, I'm going to do it.
Alex Jones loves him some Donald Trump. I only criticize him because I love him. Not because he's doing stupid shit, but because I love him. But what he definitely doesn't want is more of this fighting. This is making us look bad. This isn't working out well for us. I can't keep defending you if you start fighting with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know how to divide my attention between the folks who are supporting her and the folks that are supporting you. You guys were supposed to be doing this much easier. Aren't we all on the same page of covering for pedophiles? Just as Steve Bannon said, I think the love and the support for Donald Trump is rooted in Alex Jones's idea that he's going to be arrested if Democrats get back in power. Off of what? What's Alex Jones done? Why is it related to this that you'd be worried about getting arrested? Why is Steve Bannon concerned about getting arrested? Why are all these people who are following behind a 34-time felon are concerned about getting arrested?
If we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
I brought up Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday, I know. But she was also speaking in front of cameras as well. And she was still saying a lot of the right things. Matter of fact, that whole threat on her, it's really got her pissed off.
And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files. But the real fight will happen after that. While I want to see every single name released so that these women don't have to live in fear and intimidation, which is something I've had a small taste of in just the past few days, just a small taste. They've been living it for years. But the real test will be, will the Department of Justice release the files? Or will it all remain tied up in investigations? Will the CIA release the files? Will a judge in New York release the information? That's information that needs to come out.
This is a problem. She is a huge thorn in the side of this guy. It's why he finally cracked, because he knew it'd be bad if he cracked. But he had to. It's Donald Trump. Alex Jones is dumbass, even though it's bad, that knows that it's bad that he cracked on this. Because now, after Marjorie Taylor Greene, as I've always said, people don't tend to understand the severity of the things they do and say, and how their rhetoric then leads to folks' lives being at risk or their lives being destroyed, or people consistently tossing death threats their way. That is until Marjorie Taylor Greene felt that same death threat, real death threats coming her way because the president of the United States called her a traitor. And she's on a war path now. It's the only way she knows how to be.
Greene, you raised the question of whether or not the Justice Department will actually release these files. Do you take the president at his word when he says he's going to sign this bill? And do you have confidence that these files will actually be released?
I only take people's actions seriously. No longer words.
And what do you think the president's actions?
And I'll tell you, because I wasn't a Johnny-come-lately to the MAGA train. I was day one 2015, and there's a big difference in those Americans and those that decided to support President Trump later on. And I'll tell you right now, this has been one of the most destructive things to MAGA, is watching the man that we supported early on, 3 elections, for people that stood hours, slept in their cars to go to rallies, have fought for truth and transparency and to hold what we consider a corrupt government accountable. Watching this actually turn into a fight has ripped MAGA apart. And the only thing that will speak to the powerful, courageous women behind me is when action is actually taken to release these files, and the American people won't tolerate any other bullshit. That's where we are today.
Oh, damn. That's a lot. So now the attacks have gone direct. I mean, the honest reaction to what Donald Trump does with anyone has gone direct. It happens to a lot of Republicans that cross Donald Trump. Suddenly they have this ability to tell the truth. And you wonder, did you always have that truth in the back of your brain and you figured strategically, I don't need to tell that truth? Just wondering. I'm really trying to stop fully criticizing Marjorie Taylor Greene when she says the right things like this. But the first thing she said really struck me. I only take people's actions seriously. Her actions on this are great. Her actions on things like invasions of our cities with Trump's Gestapo officers, no actions on that. Her lack of understanding of how people's lives get destroyed and families get ripped apart from these mass deportation policies. She doesn't care. There's still people who are getting death threats and who are actually getting killed, who are being tortured in these detention centers, these concentration camps, where Marjorie Taylor Greene is still not feeling that, so she's not saying much about it. I'll stop on her now, because in this case, she's all over it. I hope her actions continue down this same road, because as she said, she's not listening to talk anymore. I stopped listening to talk a long time ago. But I'll listen to her one more time, though.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that.
I'm just saying, more truth from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I said I was done criticizing her, because I welcome this information. I welcome the action behind what it is that she's talking about. But it comes because she gave her loyalty to Donald Trump for free for all these years, and he's turned on her. That's why. That she said it. It's okay that's why, whatever it is, because Donald Trump alienates a lot of people, and then suddenly they do the right thing. So I'll take it. So I just want to juxtapose that with her now flip and change on this whole thing, because she was called a traitor and now is getting death threats. The other guy I was just mentioning, do these folks have the thought process of the truth in the back of their brains when they're still covering for him? A good question could be asked of this guy, because he was asked about these death threats towards Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Protecting her security or safety, would you advise the president to stop calling her a traitor?
I don't. Look, it's not surprising that the president was frustrated because of some of the criticisms that Marjorie had been out stating to the media, and of course she criticized me all the time. But I work on unity in the party, and my encouragement of everybody is to get together. We've got to do that in order to deliver for the people.
No, the question was, would you advise the president to stop saying that people are traitors because death threats are coming to the way of one of the most well-known Congress people that you guys got in your party? All he's got is that it's not surprising to hear that the president is frustrated. So in other words, no, I wouldn't tell him anything. Matter of fact, I'm afraid of him. If he does something and says things to get more people harmed or killed, I'm okay with that because I'm attached to Donald Trump's ass. That's Mike Johnson's stance on everything. When the baby gets frustrated and starts whining and crying, all you can do is give them everything that they want. After giving them everything they want, you just hope that they don't have another tantrum. Or maybe you're training that baby to learn that if they whine and cry and bitch and complain and always want their way, even though they're always doing the wrong thing, that they're going to keep doing it. So lastly, on the Epstein stuff, I always like to wrap up by showing you guys who the people are for real and what is that they've experienced and what is that they hope to get out of this, while all these politicians are fighting with Donald Trump and his entire MAGA White House to release the information that'll give them their justice.
Coming from the dance world, I was recruited in 2004 after a systematic breaking down where Epstein leveraged my mother's brain tumor scans. He threatened me to withhold care for her. He trapped me in a year-long cycle of abuse. The last time I was here in Washington, D.C., I talked about being a part of this beautiful mosaic of women behind me, and they are exactly that. They are a beautiful mosaic of energy and passion and love and life. I am one story of 1,000. You think of that number, 1,000. I spoke of how big our hopes and dreams once were, and I talked about how they were completely shattered at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. Now I look at this amazing community behind me. They are survivor sisters. We are together. We stand together in this. And I realize that we are a representation of women across America. We're united in the call for transparency, complete transparency, to find justice. Justice for our younger selves. These pictures that you see, they're real people. I wish I could go back and give my former self a hug and say, this matters and it's going to change, and mean it.